What's up? What's up? I need to turn my brightness up just a little bit, don't I? So I can actually see what's going on here. I turned it down because I thought I was going to do a little chilling, but you know what? I had some time. My wife's working on one of her projects for the business. I just figured I'd come hang out with you guys for a little bit. Excuse me. Ew, I burped. Anyway, I thought I'd come hang out with you guys for a little bit while I had some time. I'm not going to stream for a super long time, but then again, I'm always saying that, so you never know. Sorry, anything's really possible. But at this point, I've just come to really love streaming and hanging out with you guys. So please have no problem, as always, as I do on this channel. Come pop through. Let's chill. Let's shoot the breeze and talk fragrances. Might as well put, as Yuvraj, one of my good buddies who's always dropping through here, says, got put up that silver baddie. You got some gas issues. Hey, man, listen, we got a little bit out. We have to let a little bit out while we can. Let me tell you something, Redbeard. Just want to make this super clear. By the way, I want to ask, does your cap also suck? You got Toy Boy, right? I can't remember, but I will say this is one of the greatest fragrances I've ever smelled in my entire life. It definitely leans a little bit on the feminine side, but dude, oh, this is fantastic, and I absolutely love it. So, no, I'm going to get it. Well, I definitely recommend you get it. The only thing, like I said, it's just that the stupid cap, literally, like, this is the least connecting of a cap on a fragrance I've ever had in my entire life, but it smells so good. And it's also really strong. It's still literally rating. I put this on really early this morning. I think it was around 8 o'clock this morning, and it's still coming off of me right around here, probably about an inch off the skin. So this bad boy is not a joke. Oh, but I mean, it's cheap enough. I don't really mind reapplying it. So, but yeah, super happy to come hang out with you for a little bit. I don't know if anybody's actually going to have the chance to come through this evening and chill. Let me see how much is in this thing. I'm probably going to burn through this bottle. But the way this is done with the cucumber and everything, it's like super good. Jalissa Smith, what's going on? Thank you for popping through. That's me. I spray and spray. Tell me about it. Jalissa, by the way, I don't know if you got any questions about fragrances, but please feel free to drop in. I always got to use these little fun gotcha titles when we jump in here. I am going to talk about some of my personal favorite fragrances of all time, but W Fit, well, I appreciate you saying that. Good old-fashioned swimmy trunks that I got years ago and a Hollister t-shirt, but thank you for saying that. Thank you. I'm definitely not a Mr. Fashion man. I think Redbeard here in the comments, one of my good buddies, he's probably a little bit more on the old-fashioned side. But yeah, I like to think of myself as just a dad who tried his best and failed sometimes. So I appreciate that. But anybody who pops through here, please feel free to ask me questions about fragrances, should you have any whatsoever. I'm not a professional. I like to cosplay as one on YouTube and answer you guys and hang out. But I'm just a dude who loves fragrances and loves answering you guys and talking and stuff. Or you can talk about whatever you want. I really don't care. What's up, TT Fragrance? How are you doing, buddy? Anybody who pops through here as well, please go give a little love to my little friend right here. He's just a young fella trying to get into the game and enjoying himself some perfumery. Want to be my man? No, I don't, because I'm married and very happily so. But I appreciate you wanting to ask. But yeah, I'm married and been with my wife for 5.5 years, so she's my best friend. But you're also still welcome to hang out and then talk about fragrances, though. But yeah, maybe TT Fragrance here. Maybe he'll be your man. But yeah, I'm just hanging out, honestly. My wife's currently working on some projects. I had nothing else to do tonight, and I'm starting to really love doing this whole streaming thing a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest with you. When I first did this a couple of weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Let's see how this goes. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to pan out, but I'm starting to actually really have a good time. Well, I've already been having a good time talking with you guys and answering questions, but it's been really fun. 5.5, I got you beat. Oh, I don't doubt that whatsoever. But then again, aren't you like 75? I'm just kidding. Buddy. My closest, my closet in 20 years, Michael Stevens. I know you're not the Michael Stevens that I used to know, but I have not met another Michael Stevens since the guy I used to hang out with all the time. So welcome here as the new Michael Stevens in my life, if you decide to stick around. But it'll be 30 years. It'll be in 30 years. Yeah. But definitely, please go ahead and just add to yourself a collection. Although, to be completely honest with you, I do want to say, first of all, I got something really exciting to tell you guys here in just a second. But I do want to make this excessively clear. please, if you're getting into perfumery, if you're getting into fragrances, don't try to be like this. It's really not worth it unless you do reviews like I do. I definitely recommend you just have a max of about maybe 10 to 15 fragrances to gravitate around. Just try to be honest with you. You collect cologne too? Yes, this is my main thing that I do for my channel, and I thank you for popping by. What's some of the best performing freshies in 90-degree heat? To be honest with you, definitely. This is not necessarily a straight up freshie at all, but it feels fresh because of the bergamot. For me, excuse me, Eros Parfum. I always say that because, again, to you guys who are here a lot, sorry to be repetitive, but it's very fantastic, very strong. Light Blue, Oh Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. They really cranked it up. It's a fresh fragrance. It lasts extremely well. Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint is a really good fresh fragrance to wear in high heat. That's very bright as well. Oud Blue Notes by Mancera, very good choices. A little bit on the cheaper price range. There's a handful of other ones from like the Givenchy. I don't know how to ever say that properly, but like Givenchy and the Gucci line as well. And I also kind of like to think of Le Beau Paradise Garden as a pretty good freshie, and it definitely lasts in high heat very, very well on the skin. So those are some good ones to recommend. And as well, the new Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Capri in Love. But I'm super happy to have another bottle of this in case you guys who are popping through don't know. Do I have AFNA 9 p.m.? Not anymore. Ain't no way I knew he was going to say Eros. Absolutely. Eros is a fantastic fragrance choice. And by the way, I know a lot of the old TikTok folks like to say that it's played out these days, but it absolutely is not. Eros is a fantastic fragrance, especially the Parfum or Eau de Parfum or the Energy or Flame. All of those are fantastic. Yeah, Oud Blue Notes Red Beer is fantastic. F9 though, F9 9 p.m. I don't have anymore. I used to have it. But to be honest with you, it wasn't really for me. It smelled a little too youthful, I guess. I mean, I'm only 32, don't get me wrong. But I will say some fragrances are a little too teenage, I guess you could say. Kind of like a Hawass by Rasasi. So I know F9 9 p.m. is a very popular fragrance, but I ended up just giving it away because it just wasn't for me. A friend of mine, on the other hand, has the 9 a.m. and he wears it at work, and it's pretty nice. I like it a lot. I think I actually like it a little bit more. Have you tried the new Drake fragrance? I have not. I don't know. Is that Drake the rapper? He's got a fragrance out? I did not know that. But last question. No, you can feel free to ask all the questions you want, buddy. Do you have any Jean Paul Gaultier elixir? Absolutely. I've got all the Jean Paul Gaultiers except for the flower edition. But these are actually some of my favorite fragrances in the entire world. So this is Jean Paul Gaultier's La Male Elixir, and then Elixir Absolute. So definitely cannot go wrong with those. But please don't ever feel like you, not that you are, but anybody who watches, you're more than welcome to ask as many questions as you want. Ask 1,000 if you got to. But yeah, dude, this is definitely one of my favorites in the entire world. It's La Male in French, but I say La Male all the time, just as a bad habit. La Male Le Parfum is my favorite fragrance of all time. This is definitely just, no matter what happens, it's a beautiful, it's definitely different than the Elixir, but it's iris with lavender and that creamy vanilla feel underneath it. It's fantastic. This one is definitely honey tonka bean. Talk about beans. This one is honey and tonka bean with benzoin and lavender, so it's a fantastic fragrance. Yeah, he owns a fragrance company. By the way, super sorry. I've got a lot of gas tonight. Me and my wife ate, we ate burritos. So if you hear something that sounds like a frog's been trapped in a blender, well, you know what it is, and I'm not going to apologize any further about that. What's up, bro? What's up, Montrese? Thank you for being here. I'm going to try and find Le Beau Male. We back? Yes, we are. We are back. You can try. He owns a fragrance company. Just released a car. I did not know that, but thank you for letting me know that, TT Fragrance. I appreciate that. Do you know anything about Pheromone cologne? You want to know something? You are the fourth person or fifth person to ask me about that in the past week, and I really want to know where people are hearing about these from, because I keep saying this to people, and I'm glad I can tell you. So I've got a coworker who she's been into fragrances as well for a very long time. I personally work around fragrances and in candle making supplies as well, and pure raw materials every day. And so basically a coworker of mine has had multiple pheromone infused fragrances for the past 10 years. And for as far as she has said, from her personal experience in trial and testing, they don't really seem to. Pheromones, as you know, are natural attractors, especially in chemistry. Scientifically, they're meant to, depending on the person and the circumstances, be natural, more like I guess I would just call them attraction agents. But from what I've been told by her and then another coworker who's been working actually with bonding fragrances for a while, they're not really. It's more of a mild placebo thing, to be honest. Not that pheromones in science and nature really do what they do, as far as like I guess I use actual chemistry amongst people and creatures, but in perfumery they don't really do a whole lot. To be honest with you, it's just kind of a thing. Heard they're fake. That I guess, to be honest with you, Michael, they're not. It's not that the pheromones aren't in the fragrances, but they don't really do anything special. Just to be honest with you, the one before the main line by Quentin Biche. Oh, okay, all right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, good thing you have all this frags to counter the farts. That's going to be the new name of my channel. I'm going to scratch on here with Sharpie or something. Douglas Moon fragrance and farts. That's going to be the new thing, because sometimes you smell good, sometimes we stink. What can you say? By the way, I'm super sorry for this particular conversation that I'm about to have. Again, you can feel free to comment and interrupt me with questions about fragrances at any time. But I do got to say this. It is really sad. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's because I have IBS. But I was pretty frustrated today because when I got the Eros Flame and the Moschino Toy Boy, I was in the car, sprayed the Toy Boy on. I was like, wow, super powerful fragrance. I managed to accidentally scuttle a tiny little fart out, just a little bitty dad fart. And next thing you know, it never went away. And yet somehow the fragrance, I just kept spraying and spraying. I even sprayed some Eros Flame, super powerful fragrances. And yet somehow that little peep just decided I'm going to stay forever. And it did. It stayed at least for an hour and a half. And I was pretty upset. So I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. Again, it is what it is, but it sucked. Good luck with the rest of your journey. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. You're welcome here anytime. I normally stream on Wednesdays, but I've definitely been having a lot of free time, especially in the evenings. Just been trying to come hang out whenever the chance allows to do so. What do you think of Xerjoff Herba Pura? I love Xerjoff Herba Pura and Xerjoff Herba Gold. So these are definitely some fantastic summer fragrances. These aren't necessarily my personal go-to profile. As the summer progresses and heats up, I should have brought these up earlier when asked about freshies. As the summer progresses and things start heating up a little bit more, these are fantastic choices overall. They're about the exact same almost scent profile, except Herba Gold has a little bit more of a creamy underfeel, a little lighter creamy feel. Whereas this is just a straight up dense mango-y passion fruit type of fragrance, but it's fantastic. Good evening, Mohammed. Thank you for being here. It's probably the alcohol making the fart smell stay. If you're talking about alcohol within the fragrances I spray, that might be the case. If you're talking about drinking alcohol, personally don't do that. Once again, I don't know if that's what you were saying, but I just always want to point out the fact that I'm 7 years sober as of May 4th. And I'm not saying it to brag for me, but just as a little encouragement to anybody out there on their sober journey. Again, just not that anybody really brought it up, but I like encouraging you guys if you guys are struggling with anything yourself. Do you think Herba Pura is worth the money? 100%. King Sword went and smelled the new Gucci. Yes. So definitely. Are you talking about the new Gucci Guilty Elixir? Because yes, the new Gucci Guilty Elixir is extremely synthetic. Like I said, I like it. It is good. It's a very nice fragrance. It just definitely is a wee bit of a knock on the, like I said, Amouage Reflection and then La Malle Le Parfum. They definitely, to me, are like the cornerstone for the most part of Iris fragrances. So to my buddy, have you tried anything from Unique's Luxury? I have not. Thank you for asking. As usual, I just want to clarify, if I haven't tried something, I'm not going to give you my thoughts because I don't want to be a liar or disrespectful. But I will say this, as far as Herba Pura goes and Herba Gold, they're definitely worth the money. And it's because I will recommend if you can get them from discounter sites. But either way, these are spectacularly worth the money if you're looking for that very much mango forward, passion fruity type of fragrance. You got to understand these are not massively masculine fragrances, so they are a little bit more. They're unisex, but it's a little bit more. Excuse me, sorry. I told you I'm gassy. They're a little bit more womanly feeling, but they're extremely powerful bombs, like a lot of Xerjoff fragrances are. So I would recommend them, and they are worth the money, especially as really good summertime fragrances. But if you're looking for something a bit more on the masculine side, this is not necessarily the way to go. But that's okay, because we can wear whatever we want. You're a real one if you have some Versace. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. Oh, and real quick, just to say this, the longevity for both of these bad boys, if you're looking at about roughly six to seven or so sprays, you're looking at a good whopping overall longevity, about 10 to 12 hours. But we're talking skin scent or like around this, say, I would say as far as like projection and C hours, you're looking about 5 to 6 decent hours. So they are pretty explosive for the most part, but they stay as a skin scent for a very long time and stick to clothes pretty well. But yeah, I love me some Versace. I do not have any Argos, so I definitely want to get my hands on some. But at the moment, I do not have any. But I am looking forward to getting some when I can. It's just a fragrance house that I only really recently started to kind of understand. I haven't even got to smell any, so look forward to it when I can. You should try Summer Mink, the Drake one. I'll definitely do that when I can. You have a niche collection. I'm on the fence on Xerjoff Naxos. So let me make this very clear to you. Is that Gerald? Thank you for popping through, as always. Please do not think I'm anybody special. I'm just a regular dude. So while I'm live streaming here, you guys are more than encouraged to ask questions, more than encouraged to give me your thoughts and opinions as well, and suggest things to me. If you've got fragrances I haven't heard of, I'm also excited about that. With that being said, please, please, please do not be on the fence about Xerjoff's Naxos. Xerjoff is one of my absolute favorite fragrances in the universe. This is something perfect for year round. I will tell you, I've got Leighton by Parfums de Marly back here. And this is also a lovely fragrance. Hard to recommend for a lot of people, though, because it does, in fact, have, to a lot of people's nose, a very specific Vicks Vapor Rub-ish kind of feel. It mostly comes from the way that the lavender blend is in this, but it's definitely got like a Vicks Vapor Rub type of starting note. On the other hand, it dries down to something very, very beautiful. But for the price and performance, I normally will definitely steer people towards Xerjoffs or Amawages, but especially Naxos by Xerjoff. Again, it's honey. It's sweet tobacco leaf. So it's not smoked tobacco. It's a sweet tobacco leaf with some nice vanilla and rose going on underneath it. And it lasts very, very, it smells extremely regal, extremely luxurious. And so I know I'm gassing this up a lot. Again, nobody's paid me for any of this. Nobody sends me free things. I bought all this myself. So I'm not saying this for money. I'm just saying, like, I absolutely love Naxos. So if you're considering it, please go for it. Leighton, on the other hand, that was definitely a little bit tricky to suggest to people because it's a little tough. But it might be Polo Blase. What are those two bottles at the very top of your shelf? Bro, it's not a reg. He's a fresh smelling dude. Have you, hold on, I'm trying to make sure I keep up with you guys real quick. Tasso, thank you for coming through. Have you tried Gulf Orchid Mango Ice? I have not. Bro, not a reg, so he's a fresh smelling regular dude. I don't know what that means, but yes, I will take that. So might be some Polo. Okay, so I will say, what are the two bottles at the very top of the shelf? You're talking about up here? If you're talking about way up here, that's Hod Lodge Island, and then the other one next to it is a ridiculously awful, I'm not even going to tell you the name of it, but it's an absolutely awful Baccarat Rouge dupe that was like $10. So do you have any recommendations on making money with side hustles? Thank you very much. Absolutely, Gerald. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Michael. Okay, yeah, well, no, definitely. By the way, I also want to show this out there. If there's any other fragrance questions that I don't know the answers to, or any of my buddies who are like regulars who come through the chats here, please, I definitely entrust you guys to their opinions. If you see somebody comment anything, and I say that I don't know, but you do, please, you're more than welcome to give advice throughout here. As long as we're being respectful to each other, you're all welcome here. How many bottles do I have? Thank you for asking. In total, I have roughly 147. I think with what I got today, it's like 148. So as you can imagine, it looks like a lot. And there's a whole nother shelf down here at the bottom you can't see. But crazy thing about that is like there's a lot of fragrance YouTubers who receive free stuff. And like when I see their collections, it's insane. People got like 2,000 bottles. So yeah, I literally told myself, because nobody's going to wear all that. So if I do get to a point where I start receiving things, I'm still going to be honest and tell you if it sucks or not. But for the most part, I'm probably start giving junk away. But at this point, I'm not going to. But I would do that at that point. But let's see here. Looking for a summer and winter cologne. Do you recommend Versace Eros Flame? I'm not the biggest fan of Pour Homme Top Dog Games, but I will say this. Eros Flame is absolutely fantastic. If you want to have another Eros, get Eros Parfum because it's absolutely magnificent for the summertime. Fall, summer, spring, summer. You can wear it all year long. Winter as well. But then the Eros Flame is definitely perfect for a beautiful, luxurious summer day. What is best fragrance for me? Douglas, did you have to macerate your hot lodges at all? Muhammad, I did not personally. They were pretty decent right out of the bottle, to be honest with you. But I will suggest probably for some people, you might have to end up doing that. One big thing I do want to recommend everybody doing, it's not necessarily really maceration, but when you get a new fragrance, no matter what it is, anticipate that when you spray the first few sprays, because it has to let some of that air build up and a little bit out, give it about 24 hours before you really make a judgment on the overall performance of how you wear it for the first time. Just throwing it out there. Get a new fragrance, give it a couple of sprays, and let it sit in the closet overnight. But no, I didn't have to do that personally. Best fragrance for me, fragrance for you, Epic Kid. I'm not entirely sure. Probably going to throw you towards Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. Give you something a little nice. Maybe if you can go for it, Jean Paul Gaultier's Paradise Garden. Very good choice. Or La Male Elixir, La Male Le Parfum. Something a little different for you. If you guys want something fun, I absolutely keep talking about this because I just got this today. Despise the bottle. Love the fragrance. This is Moschino's Toy Boy. Horrible cap. But I will say, even my personal favorite perfumer and YouTuber in the fragrance world, Aaron Terrence Hughes, he even liked this. He didn't like it like he would wear it himself, but he highly rated its craftsmanship. It is a monster. So I think this was like $40. But yeah, it's Toy Boy. Again, hate the bottle. Really don't like the name. But this is pear, cucumber, and rose. And it sounds womanly to some people. It is not. It is very fantastic. Very wonderful. Highly recommend it, bad boy. Current top 5 fragrances in my collection. And have you tried Pacific Chill? So I have tried a handful of the Louis Vuitton fragrances. Just going to be honest with you. I find them to be vastly overrated. That's just me. I know that for some strange reason, everybody on TikTok who, again, I don't trust none of those guys in the TikTok fragrance community. Not trying to be mean, just being honest. They really push a lot of crap on people that just because they're getting free stuff, getting paid. But for some strange reason, even though the TikTok community I see is pushing the living crap out of cheap dupes and stuff all the time, on the other hand, they also keep pushing the crap out of Louis Vuitton fragrances. I don't know what's up with that, but they are. Louis Vuitton just seems to be all over people's feeds, and I just want you to know, they smell decent. Imagination, Pacific Chill or whatever, they smell decent enough. They're very basic, but for the price that you pay, please don't. Just don't. There's lots of better choices, lots of more stronger performers. So again, I ain't trying to be like controversial. I'm just being honest because I care about you guys spending your money. Again, nobody's paying me for this crap. So when I tell you this, is because I actually try this stuff so I can tell you guys so you don't go wasting your money. So I know that was a big rant, and I'm sorry, but Louis Vuitton fragrances, overhyped. Just if you like them, that's totally okay, but overhyped. Do you like Instant Crush by Mancera? I love Instant Crush by Mancera. I also want to answer you quick about, and I'll get to the rest of you guys' questions the best that I can. But my top 5 favorite fragrances in my collection: La Male Le Parfum, tied with La Male Elixir, as well. Let's see. I kind of try to go in order, but Naxos by Xerjoff, 40 Knots by Xerjoff. I as well really, really love me some. You know what? It's kind of tough because some days a few of them will variate. Sorry, excuse me. A few of them will kind of shift around just a little bit, but definitely Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kirkjohn is in my top 5. And then I'm going to go with Ombre Leather Parfum by Tom Ford. Absolutely love it. You do, I'm your man. I don't know what that was too, but can you explain the different concentrations that are sold? Let me see how far. Oh boy, you guys have been commenting. I'm so sorry to be behind. I love Eros Energy. It's a really good fragrance. I haven't tried Aqua di Parma. My Hot Lodge Island seems to last way longer on clothes. Can't seem to detect it after skin. That definitely might be depending on how it's like blending onto your personal hormones. A lot of people I know it sticks to skin pretty well, but it does compared to Le Beau Le Parfum, which is a way better performer. I love Hot Lodge Island, but as you can see, I got it back there in that doohickey. But it definitely is not like the best on skin for an extremely long time, especially depending on the person's hormones. It does pretty okay on me, not necessarily on a coworker. Eros Parfum, a good summer fragrance. Versace Eros Parfum is fantastic all year long, but it is definitely a good summer fragrance, especially because of the bergamot. It's just a very beautiful fragrance. Do you have a top 3 from the House of Creed, Gerald? I don't really... I don't literally perfectly like Creed that much. Just being honest, Creed's very overhyped. They are a classic fragrance house, very beautiful perfumery for its worth. They were very innovative at the time. But these days, due to reformulations, unfortunately, the rumors are true when it comes to Creed fragrances. And like, I love Silver Mountain Water, got that back here, but they just, for the price that you pay, don't last extremely well. So as far as different concentrations, I will definitely get back to that in just a second. Your favorite house? I'm sorry, Namsai or Namsai. I didn't hear it. Is that Toy Boy one very fresh? It is. Toy Boy, wherever I put that. This is definitely a very fresh fragrance. Like I said, it's very strong just with the cucumber and the cucumber. And what was the other notes? I cannot believe that I can't remember right now. Cucumber and pear with rose. So it's a very fresh, like beautiful summer fragrance for men. I say words like beautiful. I, personally, don't get me wrong, like I don't want to make you guys confused about what I mean by this. So it's not womanly. I will tell you if something's more feminine and woman leaning, which is totally okay. And again, anybody can wear whatever they want if it fits you. But when I say beautiful and stuff like that, I don't mean that it's feminine or nothing along those lines. It's just how I speak about certain things. But this fragrance is very much like definitely good for men. Anybody can wear it, but even though it's pear, rose, and cucumber, it is a fantastic men's fragrance. Again, like even though I said I hate the bottle, just don't care for the bottle. Let me see. Fico di Amalfi. Have not tried that. Prada is better alternative if you want to smell like soap. That is very true, especially something like Prada Ocean. Can you blind buy the Toy Boy one? I would say so because you can get it for a really good price for the most part. I don't really recommend people blind buying, but if you're going to, this one's one of those ones where it's pretty safe for me personally. Naxos is one of my dailies. Awesome choice, buddy. Xerjoff is one of my favorite houses in the universe. I love Pacific Chill, but haven't heard an accurate dupe yet. Yeah, see, that's the thing as well. Those are some of those ones where, dupes are a little hard to come by for some ones to be like really where you want them to be. Because there's always something kind of missing from most dupes. Some of them do really well. By the way, also Olds442, thank you for making suggestions. I always appreciate you guys. I like Eros Parfum because the apple smells more candied. I agree with that. Jason, thank you for being here. Bless you, buddy. Super happy to see you coming through. Sorry that I got behind on you guys a little bit. Did you try the new PDM Castley? I actually have a sample of that. So as soon as that was coming out, I don't know if you guys saw, but they released a press thing where there was I think it was a limited time, but before they announced the official full, it was out there, but before they fully announced the name of Castley, they had a little thing and you get emails so that you can submit to get yourself a free sample. So mine's on the way coming in the mail. I look forward to trying it. The notes already don't really sound like my type of thing, but I am looking forward to getting it because I do like Performance de Marley, although I don't really wear them all that much. Let's see. Sounds interesting. Absolutely. Message deleted by Redbeard. I wish I kind of saw what it was. Lance, thanks for being here. You can't take anyone's word. It's all preference. I don't know what they said originally, but yes, absolutely. He doesn't even know what CDG Evergreen is. I don't know. Not a fan of Castley. Sampled it in the store today. What's the difference between light blue and Capri and Love? You ate Middle Eastern snacks. I sure did. Although that's an old video from a long time ago. Just wanted to share it for some fun. Every now and then I like sharing you guys, even if I don't leave stuff up for a super long time. I like leaving stuff on just for fun, but I got tornadoes everywhere. One came right at my house an hour ago. Well, I hope you're doing okay, buddy. I'm sorry that you're going through that. But yeah, I tried to put up a video from me and my wife's old channel where we've been having a good time. So you guys are more welcome to go check that out if you would like to. Let's see. But the difference between light blue and Capri and Love. So light blue is definitely more of an aquatic. And then as well, like the original aquatic rosemary scent, lemon, something along those lines, just very aquatic feel. Whereas the new Capri and Love is actually patchouli, black pepper. No, it is. Yeah. Patchouli, black pepper, and then fig. So it's a very black peppery fig type of scent with that strong patchouli going underneath it. So very different scent profiles, but eau de parfums, especially if you get the eau intense, and they both actually last pretty well. Man, be careful. Yeah, definitely, Jason, be careful. Don't want anything to happen to you, buddy. I used to live in Tennessee, and we had them a lot. I've only ever seen a tornado in person one time my entire life, but definitely something that's very scary. So I hope the best for you, and we'll be praying for you, buddy. It's a wild night. They got storm chasers everywhere. That's wild, dude. I hope you're all right. I lived in Amarillo. You guys have been all over the place, haven't you? And let's see here. You had to try Aqua di Parma. I would recommend. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. Like I said, I always appreciate anytime you guys got suggestions because, again, even though there's plenty of stuff I've tried, there's a whole lot that I haven't, and I really love to get to hear what you guys got to say. And thank you guys for also sharing love and support for each other because that means the world to me. As I always share with you guys, I appreciate having this community where you guys get to know each other and we get to be buddies. With that being said, my buddy here said, what's my thoughts on Valentino's Extra Dose? I'm going to be honest with you. It smells like there's something on my sock. It honestly smells just like a mild, childish ripoff. This is going to sound, if you like it, I'm sorry. Again, this is my opinion. Everybody's opinions are different. You're allowed to feel how you do. But I'm just throwing this out there. I've tried Extra Dose multiple times. I've got a little sample of it, actually, and I was going to do a video with it, but I kind of put it off. Sometimes in the fragrance game, when you see something that's currently popular and new, it's good to jump on it, and maybe it'll help you for the algorithm. Sometimes it's not necessarily the best, and I see it starting to sprout up quite a bit. I'm already kind of late on it, but to be honest with you, the new Valentino Extra Dose is really not my style. I love their bottles, but other than Coral Fantasy and sort of Green Extravaganza, and then not Born in Roma, but the Uomo Intense by Valentino, most of their other fragrances are a little too youthful for me. And that's just my taste. It's okay. It's just like I said, I'm not a big fan of like Hawass by Rasasi. So again, I try a lot of fragrances, but there's also plenty that I haven't tried, but just straight up, not a big fan of the new Extra Dose. It just smells too bubblegummy for what I personally like. But definitely keep us updated, Jason, if you can. I want to make sure, I'm not going to be on here for an extremely long time because it's getting a little bit late, but I definitely want to make sure that you're okay. So please, if you can, let us know how you're doing. And as always, like I said, here on my channel, we like to have care for each other if possible. What's your opinion on PDM Pegasus? So, PDM Pegasus. I was starting to think of Perseus. I was actually looking forward to doing a little bashing, to be honest with you. No offense, but thank you for answering your questions. I always try to get your questions the best that I can. Yeah, I got to hit the hay for too long. Yeah, we're all going to go to sleep as soon as we can, but I want to hang out with you guys for a little bit while I could tonight. But this one, it's not necessarily the vanilla that's the big deal with this. So what's hard for a lot of people with this fragrance in particular, Pegasus, is if you get the opportunity to ever smell certain materials like Hedion, what you're going to experience is something that I like to think of when I smell it as if you've ever had baklava or like certain Middle Eastern treats, which ironically, again, posted a little video again of like from a year and a half ago. Me and my wife were doing that, but like testing some snacks. I love Middle Eastern foods and snacks, but like there is a lot of sugared pistachios, like sweet almonds and pistachios in those types of dishes. If you've had stuff like that, if you're familiar with it, this is very similar to that kind of profile you get. So it's not necessarily a pure vanilla smell. It's just more pure sugar. What in the world? I get these little spasms in my ankles. Sorry, you guys. But definitely there's more like a straight up pure sugar feel that you get from these as if you was to have candied nuts, something along those lines. And I like this a lot, but I don't really go to it because this is very, very much a fall fragrance to me. Not even necessarily a winter fragrance. I would just say this is very much it smells cold. That might sound strange. I'm not sure if you guys know what I mean by that. But when you smell Pegasus, it smells very cold just coming out. You almost get a sensation literally as you smell out of the bottle of a chill to the nostrils. So definitely like a sugared pistachio almond feel, like eating like a cookie of some kind, like an almond cookie. And I like it, but it's not something I wear very often, which is odd because I got a big bottle. All the best, everyone. Dylan Tornado. Absolutely. God bless you guys. And thank you for being here. Do you like? I actually have never heard of that before, Em, but thank you for suggesting it. Again, I always really appreciate when you guys bring up fragrances for yourself because it helps me add things to the list. What's your favorite Louis Vuitton fragrance? So I definitely, take care. Yeah, definitely take care. But I mean, depends on what kind of baklava I eat. Balkan baklava a lot, but it just has a syrupy smell. So I guess I would steer you towards that direction. So when you think about that kind of very syrupy pistachio type of feel, that's the type of deal that you get out of Pegasus. Is a very sweet, very sugary, just nut type of fragrance for the most part. And it's nice. It's very one-noted. When you spray it on, it's going to kind of stay the same for the most time as you wear it. It's long-lasting in comparison to a handful of the other Parfums de Marly's these days. But yeah, it's definitely a hard one to recommend depending on the person that you are. Almost made a boo-boo there. I think personally, Percival and Carlisle are definitely sitting at the top for me right now as far as Parfums de Marly's goes. But again, kind of not really the biggest fan of those that much anymore. Gotta head out. Love your videos. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And also to David Seller. So definitely, this kind of continues. No offense to you, and you're perfectly welcome to ask questions. But a lot of people have continued to ask me about Louis Vuittons, and I'm just going to keep saying the same old thing I have. I'll never buy them. I've tested them. They're decent enough, but they are fairly basic enough fragrances. And for the price that you pay, there's a lot of better fragrance houses like Xerjoff that you can get for slightly cheaper prices, depending on where you get them, but much better performance and much more unique and distinct fragrances while still being mass appealing, so not necessarily overly niche. So that's just, again, my personal opinion, and it's okay if you disagree, but I definitely try to tell people steer kind of away. Even my favorite perfumer as well, or perfumers, kind of hype up Louis Vuitton fragrances because they're very classic smelling, but at the same time they're just not the best to go throw your money at. They're to me overrated. PDM, also agree, fairly overhyped fragrance house. Do you sell perfumes? I already tried it, wasn't a fan. Just want to know your opinion. I wasn't sure who asked, but let me see real quick. Oh yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you asking questions. All right, some great ones. Greenlee is my favorite. So that's definitely something I'll say real fast. I like Safari. Very cool. Ralph Lauren Safari. Not a bad choice. But what's up, Douglas? Just came back Louis Vuitton. Literally, we are on a Louis Vuitton kick. Diego, super happy to have you here. I do say that if I was going to steer anybody towards wine, well, my buddy here just got Ombre Nomad. That's something that if you were going to get one, the Pacific Chill, the Swim, and all that stuff, those are the ones that I'm kind of like, imagination. Like I said, just a little too basic for me personally, but that's the same way I feel about Percival by Parfums de Marly. Excessively basic fragrance, especially for the price. When I say basic, I just mean that it is a scent profile that you could just have imagined like when you were like 2001 teenager or however, whenever you were a teenager. Like it's just not necessarily an excessively unique fragrance for what it is. It's just anonymously aquatic. But Ombre Nomad is a pretty good choice, to be honest with you, if I was going to have to get one. With that being said, though, I do want to, like I said, I love Parfums de Marly as a fragrance house. I think that they have done some wonderful things in the idea, especially like Cologne, Althea. Everybody's been crazy about Althea. Everybody's been trying to do their own take on Althea and doing pretty good jobs at it. And in certain cases, definitely performing even better than Althea. But for what it's worth, Parfums de Marly is one of those houses where I really became attached to it at first. It's kind of like Tom Ford. Really became attached to it, then drifted away and never ever grab them. Pretty much ever. Weird question, but do you pick up any cucumber notes from Mancera Cedrat Bois? You know what? Now as you say it, such a beautiful fragrance, rose and saffron, fruity raspberry. That's interesting. That actually smells like a decent blend to me. You're right, but to me, now that I think about that, it is kind of like Boadicea de Victorious' Ardent mixed with Portrait of a Lady in some strange way with those note profiles. With my buddy here asking about Mancera, the Cedrat Bois. Now that you say that, I would say that it's not necessarily very powerfully distinct, but because of the way that the notes are blended and it has like a mild, almost vinegar-like feel to it, like I don't want to say pickles because I don't want to throw anybody's nose off here, but I could definitely see how the way the fruit molecules are blended with it, you could see for sure almost like a cucumber-like note to it. I don't know that there is a cucumber accord, but I could see someone feeling that. Mancera Sicily. Jean-Claude Alena, one of the best perfumers in my opinion. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Lemon lime. I haven't tried the Mancera lemons yet, just throwing it out there. I've seen the little, I was kind of worried about them, but I definitely like to give them a shot. I haven't got my nose on Penhaligon's. So I've never smelled a Penhaligon's, but I will say that I really want to keep going back to this. I don't know if any of you guys have smelled Mind Games fragrances, but if you get the opportunity, it's $75 for a discovery set. I know that's not necessarily super cheap, but I believe there's 10 that comes in the discovery set. So it's like getting multiple little sample fragrances for like $7. But Mind Games fragrances blew my mind the other day. Just because I'm always trying to say like stay away from just getting too many cheapies, I'm also not trying to tell people to go get a bunch of expensive fragrances. You shouldn't. You should only be spending your money on things that are responsibly something you can purchase that you really want to have as part of your collection. But I have to say, when I tested out the Mind Games fragrances the other day, it blew my actual mind, especially, and I can't remember the names of pretty much any of them, but there's one in particular. There was a caramel-like fragrance, a cocoa-y caramel fragrance. And for me, even this one right here, this is like one of the few Xerjoffs that I'm not a giant fan of. I love the perfumery. It was excellently done. This is the Uyomi, a monkey special. And this is as well got like caramel, musky caramel notes to it. with a chocolatey feel. And again, for me, like, I don't like it on me. My daughter likes to wear this one. I don't personally like it on me. But when I smelled the way that this caramel fragrance was done by Mind Games, it blew my mind into a smithereens. And I just couldn't get enough of it. So there's a lot of fragrances that I definitely look forward to showing you guys when I get the chance. Lemon Lime is so good. Thank you for suggesting it. Penhaligons are great. I love Cairo, but their Halfeti leather is weird. So it's funny because I was actually curious about that one, because there's a few people that I've seen on the fragrance sphere talking about Halfeti leather, and I was wondering if it was any good, because I actually almost thought about buying one. I caught both the Mind Games Discovery sets, the Artisan Collection, and the Soulmate, still going through them. Well, I hope you like them, JJ. Let me know if they're like kind of piquing your little nose, because there are certain fragrances that, like, there's a lot that I love. So I don't know if you guys experience this, how deep you are into perfumery, but there's quite a few that are out there that I just like. There's a lot that I really like. There's ones that I would say I love. Then there's ones that I'm very passionate about, like mean something to me and like really inspire memories. And then every now and then I come across certain fragrances that are so well done, like a symphony, the way that the perfumer layered the notes and really constructed its compounds. And again, I know maybe some of you guys might think this is silly. Maybe you're not that into perfumery, but I was just curious if any of you guys have ever smelled some fragrances before that like gave you tingles, like goosebumps, and really took you on a journey. Because the other day, there was a few fragrances that I smelled when I went to test stuff out at that event that I went to. There's a handful of them that I smelled, and it really re-inspired me to appreciate the art behind well-done niche perfumery. Not like wacky niche perfumery to try to like mess with people and be like just too different, but stuff that was really beautifully layered beyond means. There were some things I smelled that just like literally made my skin feel like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. So really reminded me how much I love fragrances and what can be done. There's a sour back note or something. Let me see what you guys said. Oh, which one you were talking about? Penhaligons. I definitely think that, I'm not sure if there's oud in that. I do like they are extract. Also, yes, they are very, very strong. But yeah, I just wanted to say, by the way, real quick, because again, it's almost bedtime, so I'm not going to be doing this a whole lot longer, not as much as I did this morning. And I didn't expect too many people to be able to come through at this point, but I really appreciate you guys who've been able to stop through this evening, took the time to shoot the breeze. And you guys are welcome anytime to come hang out. Check out my live streams. I'll definitely be back on tomorrow morning. But anytime you see me on here, feel free to ask me questions or to talk to each other and help each other out as well. Because that's just what I want to do here, is create a fragrance community where we can just have a good time, talk about perfumery, and kind of become buddies if even possible. And so with that being said, before I do go, is there anything else? And before I go, and before I end the stream with my typical prayers that I do, is there anything else you guys would like to ask? Is there any fragrances here in my collection that you see that you'd like to know anything about? Do you like fougere? So I actually just had to be reminded again. I've been stuck in the land of gourmands and things along those lines, and certain greens and blues for so long, and aquatics. I actually had to go back through what even fougere was this morning. And to be honest with you, I will say, for what constitutes fougere fragrances, not necessarily. They're not exactly my personal taste. That's just me. Then again, things with like strong vetiver notes and stuff, it's kind of like patchouli. Like, I do like Capri and Love. I like the patchouli notes in certain certain fragrances, as well, like oud. I like oud as a back note. Whereas, so like an oud silk mood, where it's just like a very faint introduction to the rose and lavender and medicinal notes, I love it. But when it comes to something like Silver Oud by Amouage, it's just stuff like that can be way too much for me. And so fougere, stuff with strong vetiver as well, even on oud fragrances, 96. Sorry, my throat's getting all caught up. But let me see here and answer you guys. What's your favorite YSL? My favorite YSL, I like the new, it's very basic, but I like the new Myself Parfum. It's pretty good. And then as well, this bad boy right here. The what is this, the Eau de Parfum? Yes, the Y Eau de Parfum. This is what my wife calls the snuggle smell, because something about the apple notes and everything in it. YSL's Y Eau de Parfum, definitely. It's always just something she likes me to put on right before we do a little snuggle time. With that being said, Mephisto, don't have any Mephisto. let's see, man. I need a cologne that will last all day. It's around $100, just a straight up $100. If you, ooh, that's a little tough. If you want to, you can get a 1.7 for around 115. Paradise Garden by Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. So $115 will get you the. Is it 1.7? Something along those lines. A pretty okay sized bottle. That'll do you some good. You can get you for discounters for around $80. You can get a really good sized bottle of Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense from somewhere like fragrancenet.com. But as well, if you want to go a little bit on the cheaper end, something like Hadlaj, Khadlaj, Hadlaj Island. Just do your best to spell that in. That is definitely a take on Le Beau Le Parfum, and that is like your coconutty, creamy, woodsy feel, and that is definitely a very good powerhouse, and that one's, I think, like $35. What does JPG Le Mal smell like? It depends which one you're going for. My favorite is Le Parfum. Okay, wait a minute. Let me reread that. So you're talking about Le Parfum. Le Parfum is a very beautiful iris lavender with a little creamy vanilla type of feel underneath it. It is my favorite fragrance that exists, as well as Le Mal Elixir, which is honey, tonka bean, and sweet tobacco with lavender. But Le Mal Le Parfum is very much iris and lavender, but it's not feminine. It's anybody can wear it, and women can wear it if they want to, but it's definitely not a feminine fragrance. So just throwing that out there. Smells like pears. Definitely don't get a pear feel off of it. Sorry, I mean Le Parfum smells like vanilla and Le Mal is more lavender. That is correct. I don't know if you guys have really enjoyed it or not. I actually am enjoying the new reformulation of Le Mal Eau de Toilette. It's pretty good. Did you try Boss Bottled Night? Yes, it's really good, but it's not for me. So it definitely is overhated. I will say that compared to a lot of the crap that people are pushing on you guys these days in the social media sphere, Boss Bottle Absolute, Boss Bottle Night, all those fragrances that are coming out right now from that line are actually really good. They're just not my style. So sometimes if I react to stuff in almost a visceral kind of way, please don't think that I'm saying that it's bad. It's just, I will tell you if I think something was made excellently well, even if it isn't my style. But I also want to come back and say like, hey, that's not for me, but it is a good fragrance. What does Mancera French Riviera smell like? I'm going to go ahead and say this. It smells like Febreze. So my buddy Redbeard and a couple of my friends who come on here all the time, I like Manceras, okay? Instant Crush, Roses Greedy is one of my favorites. I love Black Vanilla. I've got Cedric Bois Intense, Red Tobacco Intense, all that stuff. I like Manceras. Oud Lemon Mint, Oud Blue Notes, Cosmic Pepper. But I will say this. The French Riviera, that to me is a very overhyped fragrance. It smells like sunscreen. It smells like just sunscreeny Febreze. And it's like a good bathroom spray. And I do not mean any offense. That's just my personal opinion. And if you disagree, hey, I totally respect that. But I just had to let you know I had it and I gave it away. It's just not for me. Very, like my buddy has said, very powdery and old lady like. How much are they normally? Which one are you talking about? The ones I suggested earlier? Those are definitely a little bit over $100, about $113, $140. But yeah, a lot of these fragrances that you see here, although I personally got most of them from like the primary stores like Sephora, Nordstrom, all that junk. Also as well, there's chunks of them that I got copies of just to test to see, like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, stuff like that. Jean Paul, I'd get one bottle from Macy's or something, and then I would get another bottle from fragrancenet.com. I will say I'm not sponsored by anyone, so again, nobody's paying me. I just want to tell you guys the best I can. Fragrancenet.com is definitely a fragrance website I really trust. I know people have had some hiccups with them, I guess, probably like everything, but Overmax, Aroma, and Joma Shop and all that stuff, they're who I've had like my most trustworthy experiences from overall when I have used discounters. So I only say that to say that in comparison to like the full price you would pay for certain things like this is the big boy bottle. This is like 6.8 ounces or whatever of the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. This is like, you can get an $80 bottle of this off of fragrancenet.com, and it's the real thing. So just throwing it out there in case you're trying to get something for a pretty much better price. Manceras are normally in the 100 range, 120 depending on which one you get. But you can get them on discounters like the website I just said for around 70 to 80 bucks. Have you tried Narcisista Rodriguez Blue Noir line? I have not, Jason S. Ooh, hold on, wait. I do got something to tell you guys while y'all still here. Red tobacco isn't ashy, in my opinion, like people say. So I will say this. Red tobacco intense is literally one of my wife's personal favorites, which really shocked me. I know I can sort of gauge normally what my wife's going to love. Sometimes, though, she really throws me off guard. This is a very smoked tobacco type of fragrance, especially the intense one. but it's also fantastic. And if you want to know what this reminds me a lot of, excuse me, instead of spending your money on Carlisle by Parfums de Marly, because this as well is built with that smoky tobacco with some apple notes and so forth in it, this actually comes excessively close to that, while it's also being a very good performing fragrance for the price. So I do have Carlisle. I enjoy Carlisle, but I am throwing this out there. If you want a Carlisle / Harrod type of influence fragrance, but it's its own thing, this is also an extrait de parfum. And this is, like I said, the Intense. Get yourself Red Tobacco Intense if you're looking for something that's way different. But with that being said, but when you open a pack of cigs and smell it, it does really smell like that. Yeah, like some really good tobacco. I do want to throw this out there, though. So it's not like somebody's doing this for me special, but my good buddies over at Sensual Obsessions, that's Scent, SCENTUAL. These guys are actually really awesome at what they do. This is their Eagle Star, and they sent me this. And again, nobody normally sends me free stuff. And if they do, here's the reason why people don't send me free stuff. I've had a handful of emails of people asking if I would take their products, but they also have a caveat. They want me to review it, and regardless of how I feel, it's going to be crazy to you guys, I know, in TikTok land and in YouTube land, but I've actually had people try to give me the spiel of if I review their stuff to give them good reviews, regardless of how I feel about it, and then they'll pay me. I don't give a crap. I want to get paid to do this, but I also would hate myself forever if I lie to you guys about stuff. I don't want to be like that. I'm so sick of people bullcrapping people about fragrances. We might not all like the same thing, but I dang sure on my own channel, even if I don't like something, I would rather tell you if it's good, if it was made well, as well if I do like something, and even if I think it's cheap. I still want you guys to know that. So I'm not going to push crap on you guys. So when I tell you, these dudes actually really did a great job, and I'm really proud of them at this company. They're doing really, I think today I even saw they sold their 10,000th order. That's awesome. So Sensual Obsessions, you guys out there in Florida, you did a great job, and thank you for sending me this. I say all that to say, on their website, I found out they have a section for $45, I think it is, something around there, $45. You can make your own fragrance. So basically, you get to go in, and based on the tier that you choose, it goes up $10 every tier. So the first tier, you get to choose 6 note profiles. I was really excited about that. So when I was talking with them and I checked it out, I hopped on and made my own little design. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have my own fragrance that I did. So really excited. It's not like a company reached out to me and said, let's partner with you and do that. But I myself was like, hey, awesome. I get to make my own thing. And if you guys want to know, if you don't, fine. I can just wait till it gets here. Sorry, I got something in my eye. But if you'd like to know what notes I chose, or if you'd like to guess what notes I chose for my own fragrance that's going to come in, please go ahead and guess. Let's see if we can have a little fun doing that. But thank you, John, for coming through here. Hermes Un Jardin collection. Scam them. I don't know what scam. Harrod is so perfect for the snowy winter. That is definitely true. Do you know Cool Water by Davidoff? 100%. I definitely love Cool Water by Davidoff. It's a good classic scent. I grew up with it, and I like the Intense now. Red Tobacco. I love watching your channel in the scent bubble because you guys get or try to get everybody's comments. I do. I try to get everybody's comments the best I can. I'm not always going to be good at it, but I definitely try to get to you guys because I want you guys to feel like I do. Like I care about what you guys have to say. So I try to get to you guys, and I don't want to be annoying. I talk really fast in real life in general. So if I ever I understand if a lot of people don't want to stick around. Here you go. Douglas, show your hair. Definitely. Here you go. Shaved head the other day. Again, for anybody who's curious, I know I don't look good with a shaved head. My wife thinks it's cute, but I know I don't look good like this. It's really been having people stare at me bad when I'm in public because I already kind of look a little scary, but I have bad eczema, so I just do what I can. I've actually, somebody at some point earlier who was on here, like who has autism, were saying that me having my hat forwards and moving too much with the lights is bothering them, so I kind of developed this habit of keeping my hat backwards now. I bet you added some rose to your fragrance. Oh, I'm excited about you guys guessing about what my fragrance. Naxos macerates so well, top 3 of all time. I love Naxos. Marco, thank you for being here. Well, I only watched just a handful of fragrance people. Douglas, I went to Niche Fragrance Boutique and got my nose on a lot of fragrances. Heck yeah, Diego. I'm glad you got to do that, and I hope you had a whole lot of fun. I always love when you guys get to go out there and do you some smelling. Dr. Beast, thanks for coming through. I like your content so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching from Saudi Arabia. It means the absolute world to me. I cannot thank you enough for being here. Like when you guys from around the world are watching, it really means everything to me. And I love you guys. And I appreciate y'all. And I mean that. Again, I'm not some special person. I'm just a dude. And I love talking about fragrances. When you guys watch and tell me you like what I do, that means again, I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry for boring you, but it means the whole world to me that you guys care and that I get to have you here. So with that being said, King Sword, I absolutely did. So tobacco, bergamot, and lavender. I'm very angry at myself because I just realized I forgot to suggest putting bergamot in my fragrance. Wow. So just go ahead and throw this out there. So that when these guys are making my personal fragrance, the notes that I chose is rose, tuberose. I know what you're thinking. Why would you do both? But I wanted both to combine together because it actually makes a very nice rosy rose absolute with that tuberose garden smell. So rose, tuberose, green apple. I'm forgetting rose, tuberose, green apple, sugar. So a sugar accord to give it like a nice sweetness. Similar, like I said, not necessarily vanilla, but like a pure sweet sugary type of feel going on, candy-like underneath it. And then ambroxan and benzoin. So that's the overall profiles that I chose. Again, could have did $10 more and built a little bit more into the profile. If I ever do another one again, which of course I'm probably going to, they are extract de parfum, so I'm very excited about that. And you can pay for 10 more bucks, you can actually do a 50-50 blend, but it's 30% blend. I'm happy enough with that, 33%. So I got none right. Hey, that's totally okay. So my buddy asking about Killian Angel Share. Definitely would like to talk about that one real fast because I haven't been getting asked about it a lot, but I do not like this fragrance. What service is this? I'll tell you in just a second. But yeah, like I said, one more time, the fragrance that I got, that I'm getting made, that I picked out, because again, on their website, you can design your own. They'll do it for you. Awesome guys. I did rose, tuberose, a sugar accord, so it gives it a nice sweet feel underneath a red apple. So not candy apple, but I thought if I did green apple, and you can also, when you do pick your notes, you get to choose the percentages you want them as well in the profile. So really awesome. But basically, again, rose, tuberose, green apple, and as well sugar, and then ambroxan, and then benzoin. So you get to choose from like an entire list though of note profiles. I'll tell you that in just a second. But just to answer my buddy here real quick, and thank you, John Jones, for trying anyway. But to my buddy who asked, Killian Angel Share, very, very expensive fragrance for basically buying like honey syrup. Just being honest with you, it's an excessively like Latafa Hamra is way better than it smells nothing like it, but way better fragrance choices. If you want to get like something just like it, if you're into it, Kismet Magic is like the perfect copy of this. Copies don't always get it right. They did in that case. Angel Share, though, is just a very expensive honey syrup. That's it. It's like honey date syrup blended together with a little bit of maple syrup on top. It's very powerful, lasts all day, but it's very overrated and overhyped to me personally. So I don't like it. It's too sweet. It very rarely is a fragrance too sweet for me. This one is just not my style. So I will tell you this, though. I think it's apple brandy apple, whatever it is. I do really like that fragrance by them. And there's handfuls of other Killian fragrances I enjoy, like Black Phantom, but Moonlight in Heaven as well, but I just don't like that one. Did he just say I can get a green apple scent? Yes, you can. Apple pie scented. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you like it, hey, I'm happy for other people who enjoy it. I just personally don't like it. But I will say that got my nose on Molecule. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, they had a lot of nasty mottos as well. I don't say that name properly. Please don't get angry. But they had a lot of those there as well. Again, I don't pronounce a lot of stuff, especially when I'm getting tired. With that being said, Robert, everybody, so when I was talking about where you can make your own fragrance, so again, these dudes, let me see if I can show you. I don't want to show you like their personal information, but if you go to their Instagram or their website, Sensual, Sentual, sensualobsessions.com. They make a lot of like incredible dupes and stuff. I know I sound like I'm being paid by them or sponsored. I swear I'm not. I just love it. The dudes are great because when they sent me this one, I want to show you guys off this real quick. Their atomizer is fantastic. This is their Eagle Star, so it's an extract de parfum rendition of Altair, but it's like an actual monster, so that's what shocks me. But they make them themselves, and check this out. I don't know if you guys are actually able to see like how crazy of a spray that is, but they have incredible atomizers, like honestly better than Dior. But so these dudes, basically on their website for what I saw was like $42 to $45. And again, you can go in tiers. So they have this giant list of fragrance notes to pick from. But you can go in tiers and you can create your own fragrance. So for like the tier 1, you get to choose 6 notes. Tier 2, I think you get to choose like 9 to 12, something like that. And then there's like another tier where you can choose a bunch. But I chose tier 1 just to start with because I've never done it before. But basically, yeah, you can spray 3 people. Oh, thank you so much, Robert, for subscribing. That means a lot to me. I'm sorry for doing a little bit of the rambling right now, but I just want to, the Book of Mormon is the truth. Well, you know what? Hey, that's what you believe. Stay righteous, and I appreciate you being here. I'm personally a Christian and not a Mormon, but that's your choice, and I appreciate you. But Do you try Mancera Oud exclusive? I have not, but I definitely would like to. I've heard about it. I haven't tried it yet, though. But yeah, just to finish up what I was saying, if you go to Sensual Obsessions website, the dudes are really nice. Again, not sponsored, just cool guys. But I love showing off their freaking atomizers because it's crazy. But basically, you do the make your own fragrance thing. And then pretty much how it works is in the notes section. So you add it to your cart, you go to look at cart, then in the notes, you type in all the notes you choose that you want. So like I did rose, tuberose, sugar accord, green apple, and then ambroxan, and what was that? Sorry, I thought I was seeing something. And then ambroxan, and then I also chose benzoin. So you can choose lavender, you can choose sweet tobacco, you can choose caramel, all kinds of stuff. So I did a rosy apple sugar fragrance. And basically, after you type it in, then you have to type in basically the percentages, so the layers and levels of how much of what you want. So you really get to build how the fragrance is. Then after that, you just pay. And then pretty much they let you know they got your order, and then they make it. And then within like 2 to 3 weeks, they ship it to you, as far as something like that. And a couple of weeks, pretty much to get everything together. So it said my order will be here. So it's probably longer than 2 or 3 weeks. It said my order will be here around June 2nd to June 10th, something along those lines. But like I said, super exciting that you get to make your own. So if you guys ever want to do that, please go ahead and do it. But is it pricey? No, like I said, so it's $45. You can do $55 if you want to do a higher amount, but when I checked them out, it's $45 and they make you your own fragrance. And like I said, it's an extrait de parfum, so you can't beat that. John Bone Jones, the woman is far from the truth. Jesus is the only truth. So here's what I will say. Definitely don't want anybody like to get into like religious arguments. Personally, like I said, I'm a Christian. We can talk about that if you want to. Not here to argue with nobody, though. I always end my streams by praying for everybody. But again, whether you're Muslim, Hindu, what have you, you're all welcome here. I love talking about fragrances, but I also love talking about life and whatever you guys want. But definitely don't want people arguing about fragrances. I'm personally not Mormon. I have read the Book of Mormon. I disagree necessarily with his theologies and teachings, but again, I not want to, put people down or argue with anybody. So definitely fun to talk about what you guys want. Just don't want no like big arguments and stuff. It'd be hard for me to guess what percentage of each. So that's definitely the tough thing is when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, how much of what do I want? Because they do the actual science and stuff and the chemistry. It's just that when you are choosing your notes and stuff, let's say you did sweet tobacco, bergamot, and a couple other things, ambergris or whatever. Let's say you picked a couple of things, compounds to go together with it, lavender. And then you were like, okay, I want a honey note here. I want, 20% honey, 30% sweet tobacco, whatever. You kind of just got to guess and get a feel for how you think you want it to be built. So, but it's really fun. It's like you just kind of, for $45, you do your own thing, and then they send you a really good, well-crafted perfume. So pretty neat. Vacate in a heavyweight belt or fight Tom. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Here we go. Wow, definitely going to build one tonight. Yeah, 100%. Go to Sensual Obsessions profile. Go to their website. So when I saw you can do that after they already let me know about their personal originals that they do, and then all their dupes and clones are so perfect, I was like, all right, well, definitely got to put them out there. Have a blessed night. Jesus loves y'all. Hey, and I believe that same thing, Noah. Thank you for coming through here, and I appreciate you sharing some love and just definitely talking about Jesus. That's awesome for me personally. Again, if anybody else has their own thoughts about that, that's totally okay. But yeah, anybody, like I said, no matter who you are, you're welcome here. I say this all the time, not to brag. It's just to let you know, like, I care about you guys regardless of who you are. But again, I've read the Quran handfuls of times, read the Bhagavad Gita, all that stuff, the Dhammapada, because I want to get to know what's out there, what different people believe, why they believe what they believe, how they've come to it. I also never read any of this book so that I can argue with people or tear them down, because that's not the way you do it. If you guys have ever heard Christians talk, they're always saying things like, oh, you took this out of context, out of context. You can't say that about your own belief, but then do the same thing with other people's belief. It's really important that you try to learn as much as you can so you can actually be kind to each other and interact. But again, with that being said, you guys are all welcome here. Before you leave, make sure to remember and try some Aqua di Parma. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to try the best that I can to make a little like post or something on my page. So if you guys get the chance to ever come through and type out maybe some suggestions of fragrances, that'd be very neat. Or if you, I don't know if you guys use Instagram. I don't use it much, but if you guys find Douglas Moon Fragrance on Instagram, you're more than welcome to come send me a message on there and let me know of some stuff you'd like to suggest or let's see me try out, whatever. So you guys watching the videos has meant a lot to me. I hate being a salesman, but since this is my actual YouTube channel, please hit the like button if you guys are actually enjoying hanging out and shooting the breeze. Please also continue to feel free to ask questions. I am about to go because it is bedtime. Me and my wife got to get some sleep. But I will be back tomorrow morning because Wednesdays is my normal streaming schedule. So I'll definitely be back tomorrow morning hanging out with you guys, talking about fragrances as usual, talking about whatever you guys happen to want to do so. But yeah, please feel free to ask anything else while I've still got the chance. I am about to do what I normally do, and that is my closing prayer. Everybody's welcome to stay for that. Again, no matter who you are, what you believe. I personally am a Christian, so I pray, talk to my Father in heaven. I pray in the name of Jesus, and I bring up a lot of stuff about life. But I welcome all you guys to stick around. And again, I'm not doing it to be pushy or say you got to believe what I believe. Totally cool if you don't, but just followed. Thank you. Heck yeah, I'm going to find you over there. So really cool to have you guys. You're always welcome. Again, there's not really a way for us to, I wish there was, but there's not really a way for us to like message and interact on here except for talking like we're doing right now, which this is the most fun way for me to do it, honestly. But you can definitely find me on Instagram, and I'll try to keep up with messaging with you guys if possible. And again, totally welcome to make suggestions over there. Also, if you guys have enjoyed hanging out and shooting the breeze, please go check out my actual review videos and watch them, leave comments and stuff, because that helps the algorithm keep me going. Because I'm trying to make some money doing this bad boy, if you know what I'm saying, so I can continue to add to the collection and buy things that you guys want to see me do. That's pretty much my thing. As at this point, these are all things that I got so that I can review and talk to you guys about. But after I start actually getting some pretty decent whatever coming through this channel, then I'm going to start making a list of what you guys want me to buy, and I'll do that. What's your favorite fragrance house and their best scent? Thank you for asking that, buddy. It means a lot to me that you've been here. You've asked a lot of questions. You've had a lot of good things to say, so I truly appreciate that very, very dearly. But with that being said, my personal favorite fragrance house is definitely from me. Again, super basic, but it's just me personally. Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Mal Le Parfum is my favorite fragrance of the entire line. And then the Elixir is my second place because I just love them. They speak to me. After that is Le Beau Le Parfum, and then probably going to go with Paradise Garden. The original Le Mal Eau de Toilette, especially the current formulation, is really nice. And then last place for me personally, other than Flower, which is kind of tied up there with Paradise Garden, is as well going to be Elixir Absolu. It's good, but it's not my favorite. After that, Xerjoff's my next favorite. I don't know, Linga. I don't know what you just said there. All praise. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do my little closing out prayer, but you guys are more than welcome to continue. If you don't want to participate in the prayer, you're welcome to get out of here, or you're welcome to stick around and type in a few more questions, and I will try to answer them after I'm done. But anyway, here we go. Father in heaven, thank you so much for this amazing day I've had. I appreciate that I got to stream earlier and talk to my buddies here. And I always want to give thanks to you for this beautiful life that I've gotten to live so far, through the pains, the trials, and then everything on the other side of that, the beauty, the blessings. It's been so wonderful. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for the kids and their family. And just everything, every experience I've ever had, from the good and the bad and the beautiful. I'm just so thankful. And I want to give gratitude and thanks to the people who come and watched this stream and hung out with me and talked. I mean it as sincerely as I possibly can. No matter who these people are, what they believe, or where they come from, we are all humans on this earth. And I believe that we are all just so full of purpose. And I know that we are. And you made us not just with one purpose that we need to seek after, but so many different facets of our life have meaning. And I love that. And I'm grateful to experience that every day. So I hope these people watching also know as well. Even if they think they're failing at one part of their life, they are succeeding at least somewhere. And I hope that means enough for them to have peace in their heart. So I pray, Father, that they just have peace, that they find sustaining happiness, and that we can just continue to grow each day. And I hope that they come to know you. I hope they come to have love in their hearts and just get to know who you are and how much you love them and how much they mean to you. So in the name of Jesus, I thank you for your love, your grace, your mercy, and your sacrifice. And I thank you for all these people. And I pray for blessings in their life and for them and their families. In the name of Jesus, thank you, Lord. Amen. So again, I appreciate you guys popping through. Totally okay for you guys to never participate in that if you have to. Whatever, it works for me either way. I just appreciate it so much. So what's your favorite scent? Look on G forward to wearing this summer. Looking forward to wearing this summer. Actually, right now, definitely Paradise Garden. I'm really loving the sandalwood with the coconut water and the way it blends together with the aquatic nuts. So really looking forward to wearing that this summer, actually. Le Beau Le Parfum was definitely a big one for me earlier this year when it first came out. But between Eros Flame, Eros Energy, and then Paradise Garden, those are probably big summer ones for me. And then if I'm feeling delicious, Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. Shed tears. Thank you. Hey, Marco, thank you so much for being here, buddy. It means the world to me. And amen. One final question. Did you try Ganymede? I have not. I have not tried that one yet. It was actually at that niche shop that I went to the other day, and I'm kicking myself for having not tried it. You know a lot of amazing fragrances, by the way. And like I said, I'm really happy you're here. Beat Junkie, I don't have Fahrenheit Parfum, but it is a decent enough fragrance. Not my style, a little bit basic, but it is a pretty decent fragrance. How many Manceras do I have? I have 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 so far. I used to have more. I gave some away as a gift, but I do enjoy Manceras. They're a decent fragrance house. And you're absolutely right, Marco. There is no mess too big for God. Like, we've all had our own experiences. We've all had stuff that we've struggled with, but at the end of the day, life is beautiful, and we are all still here together getting to experience it. So it just means the world to me. Like I said, you guys have come through, and God bless each and every one of you. Like, again, thank you, Lord in heaven, for these people coming through, because it's just so special that we get to have this time together. Like I said, even if not that many people come through, I've become pretty like passionate and obsessed with just doing these streams with you guys, because it's really fun. It's nice. But I will say real quick before I go, this one right here, still got to recommend pretty highly. I know the bottle's super doofy. Again, I absolutely despise the name of this fragrance, Toy Boy. It's hard to tell somebody, like, I'm glad this isn't my #1 favorite, because if somebody's like, what's your favorite fragrance? Toy Boy. And they're going to be like, oh, what's that smell like? And I'd be like, it's very nice. But again, it's cucumber, and it's rose, and it's pear, and it is absolutely fantastic. So with that being said, let me see what you said here. Goldfield and Banks Bohemian Lime is this summer's fragrance. Ooh, very, very good choice. I haven't tried it, but that sounds fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. I will answer this one, because I love answering this question, actually. Thank you, boss, and good night. I hope you have a good night, too. And again, you're welcome here anytime, ever. So you asked me about Vulcan Few. Just throwing this out there. Smells decent enough. It's, again, very, like, just candied mango with ginger. But again, people keep hyping the crap out of this on TikTok. I'm not going to be using TikTok anymore. I decided today, like, I deleted off my phone because I just couldn't stand it anymore. Way too many TikToker influencers who are sponsored by these companies. Like, French Avenue is a good company. I like a lot of the other stuff. But this one right here is 55 freaking bucks, and people have struggled to get their hands on it, and it's been way too overhyped. It performs like crap. Sticks to the skin probably about 8 hours, so it stays to the skin as a decent enough skin smell. But people keep telling you it's got this monster performance. It doesn't. It comes off about this far or so, especially even on clothes. Moderate, mild sillage for roughly about an hour and a half. And then after that, it's just stuck to the skin very up close. And I'm not exaggerating. Many, many people at the place that I work at, and many people in my personal life, I tried this out for multiple different days, sprayed it on like crazy. I did light sprays, like 5 to 6. Then I also did 10 to 12 and even reapplied it halfway through the day. And I'm not exaggerating. This is a real bottle straight from the company. And no matter how many times I tried it a week and a half apart, the bad boy just wasn't kicking. So just letting you know. So is there any monster yes, there is. Monster performing mango fragrances. You got it right here, buddy. Herba Pura and Herba Gold, mango-y passion fruit, straight out the wazoo. This one, they're about the same exact thing. This one's just more creamier, sweet, almost like vanilla-like. But yes, iced mango I've heard is really good. Haven't tried it, but again, I always like to tell people, anybody in my comments, I would like to have you guys like respect them as much as possible. You know what? Curly fragrance. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Just going to go ahead and say this as much as I can. I know that what I'm about to do is going to be the first time I'm ever going to throw a person's name under the bus, but hey, why not? I'm not really that big. I'm not that popular, so it doesn't matter if I do this. Nobody's going to really care. Curly Fragrance is 100% one of those people who's just like a pretty woman who, again, there's nothing wrong with being a lady doing fragrance stuff, no matter attractive or not, but she's one of those people who just knows that there's a lot of dudes in the fragrance community who's going to watch her and listen to what she says. She lives in Dubai, and she definitely has connections to oceans and oceans of free fragrances to do sponsored videos for. So duh, she's going to say a lot of stuff is good, and then it says other fragrances that are actually really good is trash. Some stuff I agree with her on. I've seen buttloads of her fragrances videos. Sometimes she's just joking around. But I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. I don't really trust most of what she says. Sorry, but I just don't. She's got a lot of opinions, but she's also super sponsored, very overpaid for the things that she does. Just throwing that out there. But this bad boy is definitely not trash.
Oh, what's the tea?
Oh, my wife's here, by the way. But anyway, this is definitely... Yeah, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people just appreciate watching what you... So basically, what I'm talking about right now is, it's the first and only time, probably for a long time, I actually will. Somebody mentioned another TikTok person's name.
It's okay, you can tell me later.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Well, I miss you too. So I am about to get off here, you guys. It's time to go do some snuggle time with my wife. But with that being said, definitely check out Herba Pure and Herba Gold. It's fantastic. But please, please, please be careful trusting those other content creators out there who are just constantly showing you like 1,000 different fragrances. Because again, they just are going through them like it ain't nothing. To them, it ain't nothing because they get free stuff and like it doesn't cost them anything. But you guys are spending your money. So, but not that, her not liking this matters. These are subjective. But I just want to say when somebody brings somebody like that up who has like an incredible amount of opinions that I don't trust, it's hard for me to really care at all what they got to say. But this is a really, really good fragrance. Super strong. Again, I hate the bottle and stuff, but super strong. And it's very unique as well. And my personal favorite like YouTuber that I look up to, he is also a professional perfumer himself for the past 20 years as well. Really likes this one. Says it's beautifully composed. So when I got it, super powerful. So if you're looking for pear, cucumber, and rose, but in a more masculine way and a very strong fragrance, highly recommend it. Do more sensual obsession fragrances. I don't have any more right now, but I was literally just talking about earlier, but you missed it, that I actually just did the thing where you can create your own through their website. Got that being made right now. I'm very excited about it. Super much. Can't wait. Good life. Have a great night. I hope you have a great night too, buddy. I really appreciate you guys being here. Sorry for the little rant that I went on, by the way, but it's subjective and everybody has different tastes. They absolutely do. And that's my whole point though. People have different tastes. People have different opinions when it comes to fragrances, but there is also just, again, I'm going to beat this dead horse till the cows come home. Way too many people out there who are getting free stuff and are sponsored who just dump all over everything that like they aren't getting paid for, but say all the worst crap in the world is the best things ever. So not that that's what's happening in this particular case that we were just talking about, but it ignites me a lot because lately there's been a lot of fragrances that I've seen you guys like throwing like money away at like crazy, and they're not really that good. They don't perform the way people say. There's like for instance, Vulcan Few. There's absolutely nothing wrong if you love this scent and you just want to have it. There is something wrong though if you bought this expecting this to be a beast, and then it isn't, and now you're kind of disappointed. That happens to people an awful lot. Whereas on the other hand, by the same fragrance house, if you know anything about Oud Maracuja, this bad boy right here is actually fantastic. To be honest with you, it performs extremely well. I wish that they were like very consistent across all their fragrance because Liquid Brune, Coco Morado, and this one right here, super monsters. Whereas even Vulcan Sable was just like a very mild performer. Pretty decent, but still very mild. But this one is a super monster. And as well, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this one yet, but Royal Blend. I think Aromatics suggested this one, so I got it, checked it out. And it honestly smells exactly like Latafa Hamra, except it's quite a bit more radiant, perhaps, more concentrated, but don't need to have both if you've already got one, but really good to have. I agree. I've told myself if I ever get big, I'll not be bought out. Please don't. When it comes to fragrance, yeah, definitely. If you're in the fragrance community, always just be straight up about everything. That's what's going to make people trust you, and that's also what's going to make you and other people be able to become good buddies. One more quick recommendation. If you guys are ever interested in making fragrance content, like you see me doing, highly recommend you do live streams. Really, really awesome to get yourself into like your speaking skills up, and just good to meet people and talk. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys so much for having stopped through. Definitely check out Sensual Obsessions as a fragrance line or a fragrance creator, a perfume house. They make a lot of awesome stuff, but as well, you can make your own perfumery through them. Just go to their website and do it. So I will be catching you guys on the flip side. And again, thank you so much for stopping through. And if you wouldn't mind, if you like what you saw and you enjoyed hanging out, please join me again tomorrow morning or whatever time it is for you guys. So roughly about 12 hours from now, I'll be seeing you guys again. Let me see what you said real quick. Armoff just bought out so many people. Yes, they certainly did. I love that you do live streams. That's my wife. What's she doing in here? It's so personal. Where you at? My wife's in there watching me. Yeah, I hear you in there laughing. My wife just hopped on. Oh, I love that you do live stream. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, I appreciate you stopping through. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate all you guys having taken the time to watch. It means a lot. So, also, there is one more fragrance that I just want to toss out there for you guys that's really good. I think it was only like $30, something like that. But if you're interested in something that's reminiscent of Oud Satin Mood, Oud Silk Mood is my favorite. But I want to keep talking about this because they did an incredible job. Who was this? I think this was French Corner, something like that. It just says Ministry of Oud. Either way, this is Ministry of Oud and then Oud Satin. This is one of the greatest things I've smelled in a very long time. It's just a beautiful powdery rose oud fragrance. Just throwing this out there. But if you're looking for something along those lines, it's fantastic. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later. I appreciate y'all having stopped through, and I love y'all. Thank you. Oh.